Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to make Jamaican fried bammy from scratch. So let's get right into this video. So guys, here I have about 1 pound of cassava and I am about to peel it. So this is how you do it. So first you want to make some mark around it, just like what I'm doing here. With a knife, you want to take the skins off. The skins on the cassava is a bit hard, so that's the reason why you want to make those marks so it is easier to peel. You want to ensure that you peel the cassava with a sharp knife using the tip of the knife, just like what I'm doing right here. If you don't want to use a knife, you can always use a peeler. Just bear in mind that you will lose some of the cassava and you don't want that. You want as much as possible, because sometimes when you go to the store to buy the cassava, sometimes some of them will spoil. On the outside you cannot see, but when you cut it on the inside you can see that some part is spoiled. So you want to peel the cassava as gentle as possible, not to waste a lot. So this is what it looks like after finished peeling. After that, you want to rinse your cassava to ensure that they're clean and ready to grate. So guys, I am going the old school way by grating the cassava instead of using a blender or a food processor. Before I grated the cassava, I cut them into small pieces so that they are easier to manage, since I am using a small grater. And ensure that you use the smallest side of the grater so your cassava can be fine and nice. When you are grating the cassava, be sure not to grate your fingers, so be careful. Bear in mind, if you use a blender, you will need to add water to blend it, and you will have a lot more water to squeeze out of the cassava when it's time to squeeze out the liquid. So guys, this is the cassava after finish grating it. So the next step is to squeeze out the liquid. You will need a dish towel or a cheesecloth for this process. Here I have a dishcloth to squeeze out the juice. So I added a small amount of the grated cassava into the dish towel and squeeze out the liquid into a separate bowl. You can squeeze out the liquid into the sink or in a bowl like I did. You want to squeeze out the liquid as dry as possible. Just leave it a little bit damp so that it's easier to handle when you are making the bammy. So when you squeeze out the cassava, place it into a bowl. So guys, I will prepare the rest of this off camera and I will be back soon. So here I have a brighter dishcloth because the red dishcloth make the liquid from the cassava red. So I want you guys to see the original liquid from the cassava. That's the reason why I changed the dishcloth. If you made it this far and you're still watching, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to tell a friend about Willa's Kitchen YouTube channel. So this is what the cassava looks like after squeezing out the liquid. You want to break this up with your hands. You can use both hands or you can use one. You want to take out the lumps from the cassava, some like these. The purpose for breaking the cassava and taking out the lumps is because you want a flour-like texture. Your cassava texture should be looking like this when you're done. So here I'm about to make the bammy. I use a small bowl to form my bammies. If you like, you can use a small baking tin that can open on both sides, so that when you put the bammy inside the pot, you can easily open it, which would be easier to make the bammy. I use a spoon to press it together, then I place it into a flat plate. You can make your bammy smaller or thicker, whatever you like, just go for it. Bammies are usually made round, so whatever round thing you have in your house and can make it, just go ahead and make it yours. To make the bammy, place a skillet or non-stick pot on the stove, add butter, then bake the bammy for 5 minutes on low temperature on each side. You don't have to add butter to the pan if you don't want to. You can add them to the empty pot and allow them to bake on both sides, just like I did. I want mine to have a little flavor. That's the reason why I added the butter. If you don't use any butter, ensure to add a pinch of salt to the bammy flour before making the bammies. So here I'm using a smaller bowl to make some smaller bammies. I did the same process like I did previous in the medium-sized bowl. So here I'm about to add the smaller bammies to the pot. Don't worry about the flakes because the cassava brings a lot of flakes. Since these are smaller, you want to make them like for about 3 to 4 minutes, not as long as the big ones. Right here, I'm just flipping them over on the next side so they can get a nice and golden look. Also, when you flip them in the pan, you want to press them down with a spoon so that the heat can get all of it. So this is what the bammy looks like. If you want to see the next process, stay tuned. I will show you the process of making them if you leave them overnight or if you don't want to eat them just like this. If you have fish, you can go ahead and have it with it as well. As I said before, continue to watch if you want to see how I made them after or you want to add more flavor to your bammies. So these are some different bammies that I made on a different day. I made them to show you guys how I did this process. For this step, you will need coconut milk or any other milk of your choice. I used about half can of coconut milk. Ensure that you shake well before cutting the can. You will need to soak the bammy in the coconut milk for about 1 to 2 minutes, then fry it. You don't have to use as much oil like I did. Ensure to cover the pot to prevent burn. Allow both sides to fry until golden brown. This is how I like my bammy. Well done. You don't have to make yours as brown as mine. If you don't want to, just make it yours. I add the bammy with some steamed tilapia. Bammy are usually served with steamed fish or escovitch fish. So there you have it, my bammy and tilapia. In my area, I only have tilapia, so I just have to work with what I have. Thanks for making it this far. See you in the next video. Peace.